Okay, Jim Davidson. How do we stand on him? Do we like him? Do we not? I know my thoughts. I wonder what yours are. If you've seen the earlier video, and you may not have done, re old Sharon Osbourne, I don't mean as in her age, I mean as it's just a term I use. Well, old Sharon, well, it might be giving it away, but I wasn't a lover of hers. I'm not a lover of hers. And as it turns out, I wouldn't be at all surprised to find that Jim likes her. Because Jim is very much into saying what he thinks. He likes people with an opinion. She has got one of those, definitely. She's got her mouth on her like he has and like I possibly have. I think he probably likes her. I didn't. But Jim, I like him a lot. He might not be PC to like, but I like him a lot. And the reason I like Jim is, yes, he has a pop at loads of people and loads of stuff that's going on in the world today. But I tend to agree with almost everything he says. So that's number one. Number two, Jim doesn't mind giving compliments and saying great things about people that are often, one, his friends, and two, just people that he can see has got talent. He likes talent, he admires talent, as do I. So Jim's got that side of him that old Sharon doesn't have. But what I like about Jim is, firstly, he's talented himself. Lots may not agree, but he is. He's a comedian that's a rarity in this day and age in that he's funny. Yes, he ruffles a few feathers. Yes, he does. Yes, he talks about some subjects that the PC Brigade don't like. Well, I love that, so that's no problem. He's been called racist in the past. Well, I read only the other day somewhere, Jim's best mate growing up was a black lad. I don't know the guy's name, but it was a black lad. Jim Davidson ain't going to be racist if his best mate was a black lad. That's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. He may say some things that people may class as racist or think he is that way, but he's not going to be. But what I really like about Jim Davidson, and this is it, I seen something about 4, 5, 6 weeks ago. He's got a YouTube channel, obviously a lot more successful than mine. He's well known. He's a personality and it's out there. And that's all belts and braces. No, that'd be the wrong term. But it's all singing, all dancing his channel. He just sits and talks like I do. The difference being he's all polished and all nice and much better surroundings and money spent on it, which is fine. You know, I've no issue with that. But I've seen something on his show, and I bet I've only seen 5 minutes of his show here and there. I've probably seen 3 5-minute snippets. But I happened to fall into one of his shows about 3, 4, 5 weeks ago. He was having a pop at somebody, I can't remember who. But he was mentioning a gig that he had coming up. I think it was the end of a pay gig. I think it was at something like Margate or something like that, if memory serves. And he mentioned the guest list that he had on, all well-known sort of people, not all of them in the media nowadays, well, probably most of them not, and more from his age group, which is sort of my age group. And he mentioned one of the comedians that was going to be on. He said, and we've got such and such a comedian on. He said, they're all knocking him out there for not being PC and not saying the right things and maybe being racist or maybe being sexist or maybe being homophobic or whatever they're doing. He says, and they've told me not to book him. They don't want to see him. People are up in arms. They don't want to see him. He said, well, what I've done is I've listened to your viewers. Don't worry, I've listened to you. I always listen. He said, and what I've decided to do is offer him an extra night. I'm telling you now, he'll be there. He's good at what he does. He's funny. He isn't all these things you're telling him he is. That's just an act. He's a good person, and I won't let him, what's that term that he's now cancelled? I won't let the PC Brigade cancel him. If it's got anything to do with me, he'll be there. I love that. I love people that look after the mates. I love people that are there for the mates. I love people that recognise and understand talent. I love people that aren't worried about what the masses say or what the masses are going to do. If you've got your mindset right, which obviously Jim has, you stick with your convictions and you do what Jim did, which is fantastic. And what I will also say about him, I know for 10, 15, 20 years now, he's done loads and loads and loads of stuff for the armed forces. He stands up for them, he speaks for them, he raises money for them. I know in years gone by, I don't know if he does it much lately, he's regularly been seen on the front line with them, all jacketed up and not suited up, you know, combat gear, whatever else, going visiting them, entertaining the troops, and often in really, really dodgy areas. Very, very brave of him. I think it's great of him. So Jim Davidson, nothing against him at all. So he is one of the people that get a pass on this humble channel. Okay? That's it for me. Let me know what you think about him. I'm sure a lot don't like him. If you don't, tell me. But if you do, let me know.